When it comes to some of the hardest games to platinum, one game that is constantly in that discussion is a game called Wolfenstein 2. The reason why it's considered so hard is all because of one singular challenge you have to complete in order to get all the trophies in the game. I decided that I wanted to take on that challenge and attempt to platinum Wolfenstein 2. The first step to the platinum was pretty simple. All I needed to do was just beat the game on the hardest difficulty while earning any miscellaneous trophies I could along the way. Playing on this hardest difficulty was actually going to be great practice because eventually I'd have to beat the game without dying while on this difficulty. Oh, I'm dead. In this game, you play as BJ Blazkowicz, an American soldier who loves to kill Nazis. Now, the story in this game, in my opinion, is pretty mediocre, but the gameplay and the main villain really make up for it. This here is Frau Engel, and she is honestly, in my opinion, one of the best villains I've seen in the game in a very long time. She's creepy, terrifying, and even sometimes funny in her own little weird Nazi way.
Darling, you're breaking my heart.
Our goal for the main story is essentially just to stop her. Before we stop Frau Engel, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video. ExpressVPN is a service I like to use all the time. It's a service that protects your privacy and lets you do so much while browsing the internet on any of your devices. For example, did you guys know that your internet provider is able to see everything you do while online and sell it off to advertisers? Creepy. ExpressVPN will keep your privacy protected by rerouting your traffic through their servers and encrypting it. You guys know that I love to watch movies while grinding certain games. Well, sometimes with Netflix, they don't have certain movies in my area, but ExpressVPN helps me with that. Alright guys, so I'm trying to watch the movie Nobody on Netflix, but here I am on the United States page, and I can't watch the movie Nobody. I just want to watch some John Wick type action. But with ExpressVPN, it's easy. All I gotta do is change my server. Now I'm on the United Kingdom. I'm gonna refresh the page. And now here I am in the United Kingdom's Netflix, and look at this. I can watch Nobody. If you guys wanna try out ExpressVPN for yourself, go to expressvpn.com/Tanner and get 3 months for free. During this first playthrough, the trophies were pretty simple. You pretty much get a trophy for completing each of the chapters, but along the way there were some fun ones like stealth killing this guy while in a wheelchair. There we are, takedown in a wheelchair. God, we're badass. Playing some old school Wolfenstein. Dude, look at these graphics, man. This is like real life stuff right here. Or trying to get a throwing axe kill from 30 meters away. This one took me a few tries. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Call me Tom Brady, dude. I'm chucking him out here. Yes, man. Sick. One of my absolute favorite trophies, though, during this first playthrough, was during this scene here where we're undercover auditioning for a movie role for Hitler. Here we get to kick Hitler while he's on the ground to kill him. This was hilarious. Oh! Now, along the way for this playthrough, certain areas gave me a really hard time, and I would die over and over again. I knew I was going to have to practice each of these areas, so I made a save on every spot that gave me trouble for the future. In hindsight, I'm so glad I did this, because being able to practice certain areas was going to really help me overcome mein Leben, the hardest challenge in the game, but we'll get to that. Eventually, after a ton of suffering, a lot of deaths, and even some jump scares. Did you guys see that? There's a gator right here. It's gone. Oh, it's not gone! We finally make it to the end of the game, and we have a chance to kill Engel once and for all, which would unlock a ton of trophies for me. Oh, I'm coming. Yeah! Yeah! That's weird, the trophy didn't unlock for beating the game on Death Incarnate. Oh, okay. I guess since that I unlocked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trophies at one time, it only popped Revolution, but there it is. We also got beating the game on Bring 'em On difficulty, Do or Die, Call Me Terribility, and then I Am Death Incarnate as well. Nice. I was like scared for a second. I was like, what the heck? Where's this one at? Cool. Glad it didn't glitch out. Now all we need to do is all the missables and miscellaneous and all that stuff, and then it's mine leaving time. Now that I've beat the game for the first time, my plan of action was to go back to certain levels, which I kept saves for, that had their own separate trophies. In this level in New Orleans, you get to ride this giant mechanical dog that spits fire. For a trophy though, I had to make it all the way to the next area without killing anyone. This wasn't too bad actually, but I appreciate the fun little challenge this offered. Keep going! Go! Do I just, can I just sprint here to the end? Is this it? Go, 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 go. When does the trophy pop? I have no idea. What? It's still going. Yeah, there it is. I'm machine enough. We beat the ride without killing anyone. Sweet. I was like, when is this supposed to pop? I had no idea. I also needed to go back to the final boss fight, which is a nightmare, by the way, and kill one of these giant robots with their own gun. Now, for whatever reason, I forgot to turn the difficulty down while doing this, so I struggled quite a bit here. And I'm dead. What? Come on. Oh, dude. These things just don't die. They just don't die. Come on. Kill him. No. No. Oh, there's a shotgun guy right there. Die, you giant robot. Come on, robot. Yeah. Yes. Finally. I don't know why that was so difficult. Once you complete the game for the first time, you have access to this board here, which allows you to revisit areas, which I needed to do to get all of the collectibles. There are so many collectibles in this game. It took me so long just to get all of these. I had to find toys, records, artwork, gold, and these stupid little star card things. Here it is. There it is, last star card. Now I officially have all the collectibles. Heck yeah, man. Thankfully, while putting myself through that torture, I also unlocked the trophies for visiting all of the districts and killing all of the commanders in them. Die, 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 die. Grab that. Terror Billy. Got all the Uber Commander death cards. Also, while finding all the collectibles, I found all the gun upgrades and was able to knock that out as well. Okay, and now with all the collectibles, that means I have all the gun upgrades to use. So we should use the last two on the hand grenades here. There we go. All of our weapons are fully upgraded. We're making progress, man. The grind is real. The main theme of this second step towards the platinum seemed to be grinding. All of these trophies here were just a huge grind, and the fun didn't stop there. In this game, you have perks, essentially, that start at level 1 and cap out at level 5. I needed to upgrade all of my perks to level 5. All of these required a different challenge to upgrade them. To give you an example, here I needed to farm throwing axe kills. So I made a save and killed these two guys and then reload the save. I did this over and over and over again until I maxed out that particular perk. Cool. Now that that was done, I now need to do the same thing again, but for stealth kills, which means I have to run up to them and stab them. So I reloaded my save and did stealth kills on these same two guys over and over and over again. This was essentially the process to max out every perk. Just the challenge was different each time. Sometimes I had to set a ton of enemies on fire, or I just had to kill the same two enemies over and over again with grenades. Again, a total grind, but thankfully I've been rewatching Breaking Bad lately, so I just watched that while doing these mind-numbing grinds. Eventually, I got to the last challenge where I had to run into people until they died. Yes, this was a real challenge for some reason. This is ridiculous. Yeah! We maxed all the perks. Oh my god, that was such a grind, but it's done. All the perks maxed out. With that nightmare out of the way, I thought I was done with the grind, but no, there was one final grind. The final boss of grinds, you could say. This trophy is called Hard-Headed, and to complete it, I need to collect 1,000 Nazi helmets. Now, at this point, I've been playing for a while, so I figured I should be pretty close to 1,000 helmets by now, surely. I could not have been more wrong. There's no way to actually track how many helmets you picked up in this game, so my only option was just to grind this level here over and over until I finally picked up 1,000 Nazi helmets. I must have ran the same exact route in this level for at least over an hour. I would just run around, pick up these helmets, and reload my save. Rinse and repeat for at least an hour. I had no idea if this was even counting either, so I was just praying to the gaming gods that it was working. Yes! Finally! Oh my god. Oh. That took so long to grind for. Holy crap, man. Thank god it's over with. Now, the only thing preventing me from having the platinum trophy in Wolfenstein 2 was the hardest challenge in the game. The last trophy I needed is called leben. Leben requires you to play the entire game on the hardest difficulty without dying. There are also no saves or autosaves, which means this has to be done all in one sitting. If you fail and die, you get sent back all the way to the beginning of the game. Speaking of the beginning, I haven't talked about this yet, but the intro cutscenes to Wolfenstein 2 cannot be skipped. There are 2 almost 10-minute long cutscenes that you have to sit through each and every time you die. One is here introducing you to BJ's past and his jerk of a dad who makes you shoot at a dog, by the way. That's right, every time I start over, I had to redo this scene where I had to shoot this dog. That was torture enough for me, because personally, I love dogs. Once you get past the first level where you're in the wheelchair, there's another super long cutscene that introduces you to Frau Engel for the first time. So basically, if you die in leben, the game puts you in timeout for like 20 minutes and makes you sit there and think about what you've done. It's the absolute worst. Either way, I was actually excited to start the leben challenge. For whatever reason, I hate myself, and hard challenges in games like this are actually really fun to me. My first attempt went pretty smooth, all things considered. I tried to play as slow as possible, but I always kept alerting the alarms as I played, which really slowed me down and made me fight a ton of enemies. My thought process was just to kill everything I could, and this worked out for me for a while. I even made it past one of the first roadblocks in the game here, thanks to those practice saves I made during my first playthrough. Eventually, I made it to this level here, and I was super nervous. This was about 3.5 hours into the game, and this area had given me so much trouble in my first playthrough, so I knew I needed to clutch up. Once I activated this switch, a giant robot spawns in this room, and he is a nightmare. He can pretty much kill you in 2 hits, but in my first playthrough, I found a strat where I hid behind this box in a corner, and it worked for me then, so I figured it should work here too. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Shoot, 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 shoot. Well, my plan didn't really work out. So what I'm going to try to do is make sure all these other guys are dead. And I need to get a charge shot on the robot bro over here. Oh, I'm dead. Oh! No! Dang, dude. So when I did that on my my first playthrough, that big robot guy did not move over there. So I guess he can move over there? That sucks. RIP, guys. And so my first death in leben was on the board. I was sent back to the beginning and sat through 20 minutes of cutscenes again. I was pretty tilted still after that first death because I had spent about like 3 hours getting to that part. So I didn't get very far here in my second attempt. Here I made it back to Manhattan, which is still pretty early on in the game, but again, another giant robot was blocking my path. I hate these things so much. So my only option was to peek in different spots and try to kill him, but it didn't really go so well. Oh, shh. Dude, how did he know that I was there? What? Oh my gosh. Oh man. That one hurts. That one hurts. Another 20 minutes of cutscenes later, and I was on my third attempt. This time, though, I knew I had to get serious. No more messing around. You see, this whole time up to this point, I was treating Wolfenstein 2 like a shooter game and killing everything I could. In reality, though, Wolfenstein 2 is a stealth game disguised as a shooter game. And 9 times out of 10, taking this stealthy approach is not only faster, but way safer. Once I adapted my playstyle to become more stealthy, I started to notice some progress. I made it back to the area where my first death was, but this time I decided to try a different strat. Okay, we finally made it back to the part where my first death was. If I can beat this, this will be my personal best. God, I hope I can beat this. I practiced a strat with this, so I feel like hopefully maybe I can do it. Instead of hiding in that box over there, I'm just gonna shoot him with the laser and run past him. I gotta charge up the gun. Shoot him. I think he blew up. Robot blew up. Robot blew up. It's that easy. Literally that easy. Okay. Nice. If I can just make it past this room, we are chilling. Oh, yes. Come on. I'm just taking this nice and slow. Hey, personal best on mine leaving. Let's go. Nice. Anything is possible. With that area down, this was the farthest I've been so far in Mine Leben, but I knew the hardest level was just around the corner. This is Courthouse, an absolute nightmare of a level. Here you're just basically swarmed by enemies. It's insane, to be honest, but it's okay. I had a strategy that was foolproof, that I had practiced a ton of times, so there was no way I was gonna die here. Oh my god, oh my god. No! Oh man. I've beaten that so many times and now I die. Oh god, Courthouse. Why do you do this to me? Dang, dude. That sucks. Oh, that sucks so bad. 20 minutes of cutscenes later, and it was time for attempt number 4. At this point, I had the beginning of the game down, so I was able to make it back to the courthouse again pretty easily. I decided to try the same strategy because, like I had said before, I had practiced this strat so many times on my save files that my last death was probably just a fluke. I for sure had it this time. Oh, never mind. Oh, I couldn't get my guns reloaded. Oh, I could not get my guns reloaded. The pain. The pain. I cannot get past Courthouse to save my life. God. So now it was time for, you guessed it, 20 minutes of cutscenes and then attempt number 5. My strat for Courthouse wasn't working, so I needed to adapt. Turns out there was another strat where you can run under this desk here in the beginning and hide. While hiding, you use this giant shotgun you find here and just wait until the enemies walk by so you can shoot them. I had never used this strat before this, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to switch it up. And wouldn't you know, it worked. Using this strat, I was finally able to beat Courthouse and was now the furthest I'd ever been in mein Leben. Oh my god, we finally made it out of Courthouse! Yes! Progress! Oh, finally, man. It's possible. It is possible. From here, I was actually surprisingly making great progress. After Courthouse, the levels that followed were so much easier in comparison. I tried my best again to treat this game as a stealth game and not a shooter game, and sometimes it went really great. And other times, I would still set off the alarms, but luckily the enemies are so dumb, I would just retreat back and let them funnel to me while I mowed them down. This is why I don't play stealth games. This right here. Eventually, after a couple of hours, I found myself in the second to last level, Venus, and I started to think, holy crap, maybe I can actually do this. Again, I was just really sneaky here and honestly breezed through this level. Now, I found myself on the last level, and this was about 6 hours of playing non-stop, and my anxiety was through the roof. I was so close to finally finishing this torment once and for all. I had practiced this last level a ton of times, so the first part was actually pretty simple for me. Once I got here, things started to get a little scary. After dropping down the ledge, I made my way into this small little room, and another one of those giant robots were outside. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, my microphone stopped recording here, so you can't hear my live reactions, but I was freaking out after getting hit by its explosions. I tried to remain cool and blasted this big bastard with my laser gun. Now from here, I was pretty safe. I cleared out the rest of the enemies, and now I was at the elevator that led to the final boss. Again, my mic wasn't working here, but I was nervous. After 6 hours of grueling torture, I had somehow made it to the final boss. If I had to watch another 20 minutes of intro cutscenes again, I was going to go insane, so it was time to clutch up. I equipped both of my fully upgraded shotguns and rode the elevator. My strat was pretty simple. I'd first take out the big dudes on top with the shotguns. Pretty easy stuff. I then would run down underneath because 2 giant robots spawn and they can kill me in basically one hit. I ran around this area shotgunning any normal Nazis that came down. Once I had noticed no more normal Nazis were coming down here, it was time to equip my laser gun. To kill these 2 robots up top, it was going to take 4 shots from the laser, and I only had 4 shots. So if I missed, it was going to make my life even harder. Luckily, I land all 4 shots on these robots, and they explode in a fiery blaze of glory. At this point, I knew I had done it. I had finished mein Leben. Again, I wish my microphone was working here, but oh well, what can you do? Now, all I had to do was stab Frau Engel in the face, and I was done. I was so excited here, and killing Frau once and for all felt so good. You can see my reaction here. I was just so pumped. And so, my journey for Wolfenstein 2's Platinum was complete. This was a wild ride, guys. You know what though? Through all the pain and suffering, I had fun, and I'm glad I did this. According to PlayStation, this took me 40 hours to Platinum. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Also, if you want to see me play these games live, follow me on Twitch. Link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching.